Hi everybody, it's Andy, publisher of Metro Magazine, and welcome to Metro TV. Today I've got several really amazing guests. We're going to talk to Blake and Kathy Collingsworth. They are the founders of the Collingsworth Foundation. I'm also speaking to Amanda Boyer Bartlett, and she is founder of Omaha Under the Radar. We'll have a clip from the Nebraska Humane Society and one of my favorite people, Pam Weiss, and you'll be finding out all about MAD 25. So stay tuned. Omaha is filled with amazing, amazing people, and even more so amazing women. And I got to know this young woman a few years ago, and I'm just so impressed. We actually, I think, sat next to each other at Opera Omaha at the gala.
That's right.
Okay, like when it was at the Crossroads Mall. You know, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years ago. Time flies. But I'm sitting here with Amanda Boyer Bartlett. She is founder of Omaha Under the Radar. And I think when we first met, was that like the first year?
That's right.
So it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. And then you're like telling me about this thing that you were envisioned, and it was kind of coming to fruition, and that's so awesome. Okay, 5-year anniversary. Amanda, just tell us, what is Under the Radar?
Omaha Under the Radar is a 4-day festival as well as a concert series, but mainly we're a festival that happens every July that presents dance, music, and theater with an experimental or contemporary side to it, things that are created recently and that sort of challenge the status quo of those genres.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize it's Omaha under the radar, not just under the radar. Omaha
Right.
Under the Radar, and the thing that makes this, to me, that makes this event, this festival unique, is you have it at different venues. You can,
Right.
it's throughout the city. So talk about that a little bit.
Since we're presenting so many different artists, both from Omaha and from around the country, we want to be able to present the art in a lot of different ways to showcase the variety of things that are happening now in classical music and dance, experimental music and poetry. So some things belong in a gallery space or a Joslin Art Museum, and sometimes they belong in a rock club. So we're working with the Slowdown, Kaneko, Project, different venues throughout Omaha that can shake up the experience of going to an event and bring a lot of variety to it.
So tell me, you've got a couple different things. One's called Soundry.
Right.
Did I Soundry? I
That's
mean,
right.
it's like it sounds, Soundry. So what is that exactly?
Soundry is our educational program that Stacy Borellos, my co-organizer, developed. So every year the festivals who come to perform at the Artist will give workshops on composition or instrument building, improvisation, deep listening, different kinds of experimental music workshops. And this year, for the very first time, the participants in Soundry, who are of all ages, it's not just for kids, it's for adults, college students, whoever, they'll be performing on the festival their original composition. So really excited about that.
That is so cool. I'm just so impressed and inspired by you. Then you also have a few what you call large ensemble pieces. So tell us about that.
Most of the artists that we bring out, we've discovered through an application process that's free and open to anyone to apply. But every year we curate a couple of big pieces that bring together artists from around the country who will collaborate together for the first time. One of them is completely improvisation based, and it's by a composer who's from the jazz and classical music world. He's a trombonist, and his name's George Lewis. So 15 artists who've never played together before will come together at the Joslin Art Museum, or this one's at Kaneko actually, and they'll create a sound sculpture using his score for the first time. So that's exciting. And we're also presenting an opera that tells different women's stories who are in confined situations. It's called Voices from the Killing Jar, and it's by New York composer Kate Soper.
Okay, how exciting. So there's 10 performance events this year. What are the dates? What is the exact dates?
The event will happen from July 25th until the 28th.
Okay.
And there'll be 10 different events, and each event has usually 2 performers on it.
Okay.
And each performer is about 25 minutes long. So each event is a little about an hour long, which is nice. So you can kind of pick and choose what works for you and what you're interested in.
So another thing that you had mentioned, so last year several events actually sold out. So what do you suggest to people?
I really think people should buy a festival pass in advance. There are two options for that. There's a full festival pass. It's $40 to go to all 10 events. So it's a super great deal.
That's crazy. I mean, that's like
we want
the
people
best
to
deal.
come experience this.
That's so awesome.
And there's also a VIP pass that's $75, and there'll be special events, cocktail hours and things like that for the VIPs. But VIPs also get a reserved seat at the smaller venues, so it's a good thing if you can manage that, if you really want, especially for people who need to sit. We want to accommodate that as much as possible. So there are some venues that are smaller in size,
right?
And when 80-some people show up, they can't fit into the space. So we do encourage people to buy in advance.
But I just think that's great, $40 or $75 for a VIP. You're really just trying to make this so easy, affordable for people to enjoy every performance during the festival. And where can people buy these tickets or buy these passes at? Right.
Our website is undertheradaromaha.com, so you can go through there. We're using Eventbrite as our ticket platform, so it's pretty simple. We'll also be able to take them through PayPal if people want to pay through that way online. And you can show up to any event, especially early on in the festival, I would suggest, and buy a pass at those events.
Well, again, I'm just so inspired by you, and I hadn't even thought of us sitting together at that opera event, and then it all just kind of came flooding back as I'm sitting across from me. It's like, I remember when she was first telling me about this, and then we did I think a story on you a couple years after that in Metro Magazine. So
that's right.
Yeah, so
you've always been a big supporter. Thank you.
Well, Andy. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're an amazing woman. I'm just kind of in awe of you. So thank you so much. So undertheradaromaha.com to buy tickets and all access pass. So we hope you come out. I will be there. I'm excited. I'll be in town this year. So we'll see you then. Well, welcome back, everybody, and I'm here with Blake and Kathy Collingsworth, and they started the Joshua Collingsworth Memorial Foundation over 10 years ago. Is that correct? And first of all, thank you for coming. I spent a lot of time on your website. You have two different websites, both the foundation and your Josh the Otter website. But I just want to tell you before we kind of get into some specifics, just tell us about Joshua.
Well, Joshua was, both of our children were adopted. Joshua was actually 2 weeks old when we adopted him, and he was just a precious little boy. He was the younger of the two, and so when we picked him up, it was kind of our Christmas present, because he was just 2 weeks shy of Christmas is when we got him. So, and he was just a little joy. Everywhere we took him, people were just like, he's just so beautiful. He was just a perfect little angel boy. So he now is, he's an angel in heaven, and we're super proud of what we've done with our tragedy, and it's just really rewarding.
Well, I want to say too, just kind of, I was at the Nebraska Children's Home Society, their 125th anniversary gala earlier this month, and you two were honored for the Harris Van Ort Friends of Children Award. So I've known who you have been over the years just because of being in the publishing business. You've sent me a lot of different things, and I was just really glad to connect to you again that night. So tell us, so for those of us who don't know what the tragedy is, kind of walk us through that, which really ties into the foundation and everything you're doing.
Well, we had a fun family day planned around the pool. We hadn't been in that house very long. And I'm a home builder by trade, and so we'd done all the things that we thought most people do to be diligent around the pool with the layers and barriers, safety barriers that you would put in place around the pool. But when you have a family get-together, a large family get-together, and people are coming and going and moving in different places, it's amazing how fast a little toddler can get out of your sight.
Sure.
And that's what happened to us that day. From the best that I can tell, during the transition of people getting in the water and getting out of the pool and some getting ready to get back in, Joshua went out there with the expectation of filling his older brother's watering gun, because his older brother never let him play with it when he was there. And just that type of curious little boy and wanting to play, and the gun wasn't around the pool before when we were in there, and so but it was in the water next to him later when I went to the pool. So we believe he actually probably lost his balance and fell in. And we were working on swimming lessons. We'd just kind of started that process, but we'd only had a couple.
Yeah.
And my brother and sister-in-law were there, and they're both medically trained. So we pulled Joshua out of the water and did CPR on him until the EMTs arrived, and they transported him to Lincoln General Hospital at the time, and then life flighted him up here to Omaha Children's.
Okay. And
from the very beginning, the outcome wasn't very good, because with a toddler, it doesn't take very much time at all without oxygen to the brain.
Sure.
To where the damage is irreversible. So it was approximately 3 days later that we had to make the decision, and we took him off life support, and his brain just didn't have the power to run his vital organs. He passed away about 40 minutes later.
Okay. Well, from that tragedy, you're doing amazing things. I mean, not just here, you're from Lincoln, just Lincoln, Omaha, I mean, around the country. So talk to us about the Josh the Otter. I mean, how that kind of came to be, and what you're doing with that.
For me, my therapy, everybody goes through a mourning differently. How do you mourn? What do you do? I'm kind of have a fix-it mentality. I don't like when something doesn't work right. I have more of an attitude of how can I make it better rather than just accepting it that way.
Sure.
We weren't going to bring him back, but I had to understand what happened to us that day, because I did have a lot of those safety barriers in place. Started doing research, found out the #1 cause of unintentional accidental death to children ages 1 to 4 in the United States is the #1 cause, which was staggering to me. It's amazing how many people don't know that. It's the second leading cause of all adolescents under 14 is drowning. So then I started going, what's going on? How come? What are we not doing as a society, and what would have made a difference in our circumstance? Because drowning is a very complex problem. There's lots of different issues with it, but what would have changed our circumstance?
Sure.
And Joshua really wanted to please. He loved, he just didn't want to get out of sorts with mom or dad.
Right.
And I knew that, and so it's just like, well, if I'd have known these statistics and had a conversation with Joshua, I'd say, this is someplace you don't go unless you get mom and dad.
Right.
Or grandma and grandpa. So that thing about him filling the water gun, if you want to do something like that, come grab mom and dad by the finger and take us with you. Children want to be with their parents, they want to do that. So if you could start that thought process. We talk to kids, don't touch a stove, it's hot. Look both ways before it crosses the street.
Sure.
Stranger danger, we talk about all these things. We teach stop, drop, and roll in every school in the country.
Right.
And here we have the #1 cause of unintentional death to children 1 to 4. And we're not doing it as a society. So, and Joshua, and same as Connor, they all loved, Dora Explorer, Barney the Dinosaur, all those characters.
Right.
So then it's, okay, they may not listen to mom and dad, but will they listen to a character?
For sure.
And an otter, kids love otters. They are born in a den, and their mom drags them into the water and teaches them how to swim.
Okay.
So it's a perfect match character that children love. They go to the zoo and they're their faces up against the glass, watching the otters swim and laughing. So.
Yeah, and joshtheotter.org, is that the name, is that the website, joshtheotter.org? People can go there. Again, I was looking at, you talk about safety, you talk about different ways to get involved. People are sharing their stories. There's so much information on that website to really help parents and kids learn about safety in the water. And I want to mention one thing too, is I noticed you have, you're opening up a new Float for Life national training facility. That's amazing and that's huge. Yeah. Can you talk briefly about that?
One of the other aspects besides mental education with Joshua would have been the back floating technique, which pediatricians years ago said 4 or 5 years old is when you should start a child to swim because they're physically capable of doing the swimming strokes. But back floating is a different technique, and it's something as soon as a child can learn to crawl, they're capable of doing. And it's getting them, if they accidentally fall in the water, instead of panicking and taking in water, they hold their breath, and they literally roll on their back, and they, like an otter, and they look up and they can float on their back, and they can learn it very quickly. Then it's maybe just grabbing the side of the pool or calling out for help. So that really is what can extend your timing. You know, you just need a few, typically in this situation, they're out of your sight for just a couple minutes. So, and this skill is pretty prevalent in Florida, California, Arizona, but there was only one place teaching it in Nebraska when we lost Joshua. Yeah. Now there's dozens.
That's amazing.
And at Float for Life Training Center, we expect that to be a place where we teach teachers.
Okay.
We will be scholarshiping kids, and we'll want to have kids in there, but we just had a woman from Alaska come to Lincoln, and we taught her this technique, and then she went back to Alaska, and now she's teaching it, and she wants to teach other teachers. So we're trying to expand how many kids are getting this type of training.
That's amazing. And thank you. I mean, thank you so much. Well, I want to make sure everybody, again, joshuatheotter.org is the website. There's so much information on that website. Thank you for taking just, you know, a tragedy nobody ever wants to experience and doing, honest, you know what, I don't even know how many children's lives you've probably saved by doing what you're doing today. So thanks for coming on the show with me. And again, joshuatheotter.org. And we'll have some information on our website at spiritofomaha.com. And we're going to post a video too that we were just talking about before we got started to make sure people can watch that as well. So thank you once again. I appreciate it.
We want to thank you because without your help, people don't get to hear our message and hear the statistics. And you know, we don't need any more this summer. We don't ever need any more.
Yeah, and there's a book and everything that you can purchase on the website as well. So, again, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Hi everybody, hey, it's Andy. I'm here at the Nebraska Humane Society. Honestly, one of my favorite places in the world. I adopted 3 wonderful kitties over the last, I would say, 8 to 10 years, all at different times. In June is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. So I'm here with Pam, and I'm here with a lot of beautiful kitties in this room, and we're just gonna talk about, you know, first of all, why adopt a cat, for starters, but also the importance of, you know, June is a big kitten month here at the Nebraska Humane Society, so we really want to bring attention to families that really want that forever home, that forever kitty in their life. So Pam, thank you.
Oh, you bet. I'm happy
you.
that you're here. I love this place too, by the way.
I know, it's so awesome. So one of the things I know when I've adopted my kitty is that you actually have like a matching system.
Yes.
And you match people up with kitties. So.
And we try to do that because obviously when you get a cat, we want it to be as close to what you're looking for as possible so that it does make sense. We set everybody up for success.
Yes.
Kitty stays in the home. So,
yes.
So we'll talk to you about what you're looking for. If you're looking for a cat that's really active, or maybe you're looking for an older cat that just wants to cuddle on a lap.
Or if you're looking for a kitty, like this guy right over here, who is very vocal.
And this room that we're in is called Cat Alley, and it's free roaming. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a cat that gets along with other cats,
Yeah.
this is a great place to look. I've already got one cat. I'm looking for another one that might get along. A lot of times cats in this room are good for that
Right.
because they're getting along, they're around. You can kind of tell, hey, they're not having too many issues.
Right,
So,
right. And then you also have opportunities for people to foster pets, foster kitties. But again, so during June, I mean all year long, but June really is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month.
It is.
So can you come down here? What are you doing? Like, are there specials? I mean, that people want to adopt a kitten or a cat, or what's the deal with that?
currently, because we have so many cats, and we probably will do this much of the summer now,
Yeah.
Adult cats are fee-waived adoptions. We have so
Okay.
many cats that we would rather give them away than keep a cat from going to a great home. So we want to give everybody the opportunity.
Yeah.
And sometimes all it takes is a little enticement, like, well, we've been thinking about a cat anyway, and gosh, now they're fee-waived, so all I have to do is pay the licensing fee. And sometimes we'll get people
Right.
to adopt at a time that we really need to keep the cats moving through the system so we don't have so many,
Right.
you know, and we get backed up.
Thank you. Again, I love this place. I've adopted 3 kitties myself at different ages, different type, 2 or 3 years apart. They all get along together. And so don't be afraid. You got one kitty that bringing another one into the house might cause issues. It doesn't. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Putty. Now he's silent, wherever he's at. There he is. So, all right, we'll see you later. Bye. Mad 25. What the heck is Mad 25? Well, I tell you, back in 2016, Metro Magazine, we turned 25 years old, and I really wanted to do something different, something exciting, and even more so, something challenging. So at first, I kind of thought that this was just something I'd do on my own, but the more Mad 25 came to be, and started to invite my team in the community. So let me tell you what Mad 25 is. We decided that in 2016 we were going to participate in 25 events. Now they had to be something that was challenging, a walk, a run, a bike ride, and MAD stands for Making a Difference for 25 years. So that's what MAD 25 means. So I remember our first event we did was the Special Olympics polar plunge. Never done that before. I was actually scared to death to do it, but me and my team, we did it, and it was so much fun. So that's when that just got the ball rolling. We trekked up the tower that year. My first 5K I did, it was the Shamrock Run in March of 2016, and we completed 25 challenges that year. So it was so much fun, and the thing that I loved about it, it got us out moving our bodies, it got us out challenging ourselves. We got to connect with people, and even more so, we got to connect with nonprofits, because I would say 95, if not 100% of the events that we participated in, they were tied back into a nonprofit. So that just helped us. That just kind of kept the momentum going as we went into 2017. And we did it again. Now for me personally in 2017, because I turned 50, I said to myself, I'm going to challenge myself 2017 to do 50 events, which I ended up doing. And that for me, as on a personal level, I created a Facebook page called My 5K Journey. So I'd encourage you to go check it out, to like it. We post both my personal 5K races and also Mad 25 5K races on there, as well as Metro magazines. But also on my 5K journey, if you're just interested, these are all 5Ks. I have 5K tips, how to prepare for a 5K, what to do after a 5K. but even more important, we've got a list of all the upcoming 5Ks in the community. So here we are, we're doing Mad 25 again this year. I'm at I think I'm about my 15th, 16th 5K on a personal level. And it really, again, is getting the community involved. And we invite the community to come out and join us. That's one of the things. So it's not just, we're not just telling you, hey, look what we're doing. We're saying, we want you, we're inviting you to join us. So like my 5K journey, like Metro Magazine, we will continue to post upcoming Mad 25 events and then look for us there, because we're always taking photographs and we like to document what we're doing. But it's just a really great way to connect with your community, move your body, meet new people, support nonprofits. So thank you, and I hope to see you at the next Mad 25 event. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. For more information, for sure, like our Facebook page, Metro Magazine, all one word, or you can go to our website, spiritofomaha.com, and I look forward to seeing you next week.